What is up, viewing party? Those of you that are watching now or later, we are here just a few short hours, a little under 7 hours away from the merciful conclusion. Thank God this is one's gonna be over.
Yeah.
The conclusion of Big Brother Hometown Season 7. It has been fun. It has been fun. There's been a lot of moments that have been enjoyable, but overall, this season has just not been my favorite.
No. No.
and and Steven, you told me the other day your theory as to why it's not been your favorite.
No, I had plenty of ideas as to why it's not my favorite, but the final three, this is the worst final three in the history of anything ever.
Ever.
Ever. Like, if we had a final three right now, if it was Jake, Sam, Jayla, Lauren, Jayla, Shelby, like, take anyone off the jury, any three people, and put them here, and we'd say this was probably a pretty good season.
Yep.
But God, this final three is just brutal. They're just brutal, and but it is. We are where we are. This is who made the final three, and so congrats to them because
Yeah.
they did it in their
Yeah.
own special ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you've been on the viewing party for the last 30, 40 minutes, the last episode is now up. You can watch that, see everything that happened with Jayla and what happened with Jake and how we got to where we are now. If you are watching this live or if you're watching this later, in the description is the application for Big Brother Hometown Season 8, which is really crazy and really exciting, and we have a lot of interest already. So hop on, newbies, returners, I don't care. We'll pick the best people to play. So do that, and then come on back tonight for the finale. So Mitchell already is showing his colors. Are we salty or not? Yes. And it's not about
Like,
Artisha.
super.
But it's not about Artisha. Artisha is someone that I could have foreseen making the final three, even if you told me this is the type of player she is, this is the exact kind of game she played, I'd be like, yeah, sounds like she's gonna make the final three and lose.
Yeah.
and it's just the combination of her and Jennifer in the final three. We'll get into it all. We're gonna break down kind of each one of their games for a little bit. Won't be on here too long, just to kind of get you ready for what you're gonna see tonight and what we expect to happen. But we could be all wrong because we're just two idiots. So we'll start with, I think the obvious place to start here is with Sam.
Yeah.
Because at this point, at this hour, this game is Sam's to lose.
100%. If he wins final HOH, it's over, and it should be unanimous.
It should be unanimous, and I don't think it will be, because I think that Shelby is if Sam wins the HOH tonight, he's probably going to take Artisha to the end. And I think Shelby will probably throw a vote to Artisha, if I had to guess, just out of like the bond they have. And so this could be it could be 6-1. Jennifer could throw a vote at Artisha. It should be unanimous because the games are starkly different, but it may not be, and that's whatever.
Right.
So yeah, it's Sam's to lose. He's got it's funny, like the second that Artisha and Jennifer just kind of slipped through the cracks, those two sides just never wanted to waste their bullets on Artisha and Jennifer, and I can't blame them for that. But this is what they get.
Right. No, you can't blame them at all, because the problem was that from the other side, Jake and Sam and them, they were going after the hard hitters too. I mean, everyone was going after the hard hitters on both sides. So, a lot of times we've talked about the double eviction is a lot of times where you might get at least one straggler who gets thrown out. That wasn't the case here.
Nope.
And it was just nonstop. They were never really on anyone's radar to get out post jury. I mean, pre-jury, sure. But once they made the jury, they were never even really considered for eviction.
You're gonna find that we keep going back to them because it's just so maddening that they're here. I know I said let's talk about Sam. What has made let's actually do it. What has made Sam, in your opinion, what has made Sam's game successful, and what is and then you can talk your crap about him.
Perfect. No, what made Sam's game successful was that he got in the right alliance from the beginning at the right time. Right? He got in the solid six. And the final three are from that alliance. He was able to get in really good with Jake. Those two ran the game. The reality is Jake ran the game. Sam was in the shadows letting him do it. But that was his strategy. He didn't want at any point to put a target on himself. He let Chandler win C4 when Sam had that in the bag if he wanted it. But he just decided not to go for it. And he did that on multiple occasions. He said, nah, I don't think I want to win this challenge, because he knew he was safe. Where he got, and that was a great strategy to get to a certain point. And then he won some challenges, and here we are. He was able to take two people that didn't do anything at all, so he's able to beat those people. It was a strategy that worked.
So I agree, and usually this is a strategy that I would praise, and usually a strategy that I would really be excited about. And I like Sam's game. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I don't love it, because I think that what he didn't do as well throughout the whole game, before we get to the whole Jake of it all, what he didn't do well throughout the whole game was really just connect with the other side as people. No. Jake did that. Jake worked harder at that. And so if Jake had won this game, it would have been one of the best wins we've ever seen. But now it just feels less than, because Sam didn't do as much of the work socially, and couple that with hiding behind Jake, which is a good strategy, and then with the final 5 miscue, he's just lucky that it worked out for him.
Yeah, no, he's unbelievably lucky. That you know how I feel about the final 5 miscue. I can't believe a player who is as good as Sam would do something so dumb at that point, because his whole strategy was to lay low until the time to strike. And the time to strike is when you win HOH at 5. Mm-hmm. And he didn't do it. He leaves Jake off the block and then tries a last-minute move with Artesia to try to have her play the POV. That's too late. Like, and the best part is, he hadn't talked to Artesia in advance about doing it. So he had no idea if that was ever going to work, his strategy. He did it because he was scared that Jake would end up winning the POV and then come after him. But at that point, you're at final 5. Fear is out the window at that point.
And there's a couple more holes in what he did than I've just been thinking about today. I believe that if he had done the right thing and put up Jake and Jayla, let's say he was determined to put Jayla up, which is probably what he would have done if he gone that route, then Artesia still wins the POV with all things being equal. Yep. And she wouldn't use it, probably would not use it, unless she wanted to save Jake. So she would either save Jake, which is possible, or not used it. And then there's still a good chance that Artesia and Jennifer vote Jayla out. Sure. That's why I don't understand why Sam did not go all in with Jayla. He had it. He was starting to. The wheels were starting to turn. The conversations were starting to happen. He could have gone all in with Jayla and brought her in as a number and as someone that would obviously take out Jake.
He was afraid of Jake. That's the reason why. It was pure 100% fear. He thought for sure that Jake was going to win and that Jake was going to come after him. That was it. That is why he didn't do it. And the best part is, he then made the move, and Artesia told Jake immediately what he did. And we had a big blow up in that chat between the two of them. And so it was all for naught. But again, he won at 4, so it didn't matter.
Right. So one thing that I feel like you rarely get in these games, and I know speaking from my Sequester game a couple weeks ago, is you don't get a second chance very often. No. You do not get a second chance. And Sam, I will give him this. He had a second chance and he did a couple things well. One, he studied. He studied the days and he learned this stuff because he learned from the Big Brother Jeopardy competition that these competitions were coming. So he studied, he wrote everything out, and he figured out, and he studied, period. Yeah. And that caused him to absolutely nail it at the Final 4 Power of Veto. Yep. Jake also had his opportunities. That's where we can say that Sam took out Jake, but Jake had 2 chances to win safety.
He did.
And what the bleep is a little bit of a crapshoot, a little bit. So I give him a soft pass on that. But on the days he should have known that those kind of things were coming. He's someone that watches these games. He understands. Now, he did not have the knowledge of Big Brother Jeopardy happening, but I think he knew it happened, and I think he knew it was questions about the game. So he could have studied, and he did well. So maybe he did study.
I mean, that's the thing. He did quite well. He got like 80% in a minute. I mean, It was not a bad time or thing. Sam just slaughtered it. Nope. I think even if Jake studied, he's not going to beat Sam.
Yeah, he got 100% in under 30 seconds. That's almost impossible to beat. So like I said, so Sam got what you rarely get in this game. That's a second chance, and he took a swing. He did not miss this time, and pretty much all things are equal because I would imagine that if he did take Jake out at 5, unless depending on how Jayla does, he might try. Probably takes Jayla out at 4. So
assuming Jayla doesn't win HOH.
Right, which is also possible. So who knows? Who knows? We'll never know.
No.
All right, so that's Sam's game. I mean, and like I said, he makes it to the end. He wins, and I probably rank him pretty low on my all-time winners of Big Brother Hometowns, and that's fine. A winner's a winner.
Yep.
The next player we can talk about is Artisha. Because I think that Artisha is the next most likely to win. If Jennifer wins Final HOH tonight and gives herself a chance by taking Artisha, I think Artisha still wins. So what has made Artisha's game successful?
Being in the final, being in the solid 6. That's it. That's the list. Because she's done nothing. I love you, Mitchell, and I love Artisha as a person, but she hasn't done anything. Talking about reaching out to the other side, she has not done that. The other side was desperate for her to talk to them when they were trying to make moves happen, but she wouldn't even respond. She left them all on red. She's talked more to Shelby since Shelby got voted out than she's talked to people in this game. I mean, it was very loyal. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's what she had going for her. You could absolutely, if you were in that 6, count on her to talk to them. Like she would actually respond. But she was never really giving any kind of strategic advice. And she won 1 challenge or 2?
2 down the stretch.
Yeah. So she won the POV. That ended up saving, which she saves Jake at 5, which shows where her head was at, was not to win, because Jake was obviously playing the best game of anyone there, but she wanted to go to the end with him. I mean, I expected a lot more out of her.
Yeah. So did I. But she was a loyal queen to the end. You're right.
That's what she's got. I mean, that is her game. That's it.
That's what she got. And yes, and she was just a little bit more social than Jennifer was.
Right. Right.
Which actually, I think she was. Jennifer's so very unsocial that I think Artisha was actually a lot more social, which is insane.
But it's not like Artisha wasn't social though. That's the thing, right? Like, I'll give you, because Jennifer didn't speak at all to anybody. Maybe once a day she'd pop in, but Artisha would pop in like 3 times a day. So It's not like, so I don't know.
Yeah. So Artisha can win this game, and I said this, if you watched the episode by now, it's okay if you haven't. I said this at the end. I said that basically, if Artisha or Jennifer win, that's what everyone else gets, and it's not as much about how Artisha or Jennifer won. It's more about how the rest of them lost.
No, it is. No, that's the thing. If Artisha or Jennifer wins this game, then rest in peace to any other straggler in this game's history, because I feel like you're all going to be knocked out immediately.
I will say that it has made me more aware of who I'm going to be casting onto this game. And I'm usually someone that will let anyone play, because I believe that anyone can play this game and play this game well. But I do this so that people can play this game, not so that people can sit down for 3 weeks and win. I don't know,
Yeah, no, yeah. It, it is what it is.
Um,
It's what it is.
so Jennifer, what made her game successful?
So I'll say this: she started the Solid Six Alliance.
It's just so funny.
She started it day zero. She started that alliance, and so the alliance she started, 3 of them are in the final 3. So I give her props for that. She basically put wheels in motion and then laid back and watched it happen.
Uh, I don't get it. I mean, I get it. She started, like, yeah, you come in this game, you start an alliance. If you would, like, time warp me back 3 weeks, I would be like, oh, okay, she's starting an alliance. Good for her.
Right.
Probably not going to do well. Probably not going to last long.
Well, they were an alliance that failed so miserably in the first vote that I declared all of them dead on arrival because no one was able to get one person to save Thomas when no one else was aligned. It wasn't like it was an alliance of 6 versus an alliance of 7. No, there were just a bunch of random people and then a 6.
Yeah, and that alliance is the most successful alliance I've ever seen.
They just stuck together.
I'll give them credit, but I also gotta, cast some blame on the other side. Jayla was an HOH. Chandler was an HOH. Max Teddy was an HOH. All three of them were HOHs, and the biggest target they got out of that was Shelby, who was still kind of on their side a little bit and was playing the middle. And would have been loyal to them and what they decided, because if Max or Jayla or whoever, Chandler, had just put up Sam and Jake, had just done that, Shelby would have been like, oh, well, I got to choose one, so she can be loyal.
Right. No, they, this, I don't think say much of this in the videos, but you know how I felt about this as it was happening. I couldn't believe that they were doing that. I thought they had to go after Sam and Jake because they knew from the get-go. And if you had taken them out, that alliance falls apart. The only reason that alliance was successful was because of challenge wins, mostly Jake's.
Right. They were successful because of that, and because no one could just pinpoint the 5 of them for the most part.
Right.
No one could just pinpoint them. If someone had just been like, oh, they are all together,
right,
this game would have been very different.
In fairness, it's really hard to pinpoint that they're together because Artesia and Jennifer didn't speak.
Yep.
So, I don't blame them all that much for not being able to figure out, this is an alliance. Like, they were sheltered pretty well because of the fact that they had 2 people not actually playing other than to vote.
And so I think I'm actually going to go back all the way to Jayla's HOH and say that you were 100% right about how bad her nominees were.
I was so mad, and I didn't end up putting it in the episode video really because it didn't end up mattering, but because Daniel won and everything was switched up. But I was furious with Jayla's picks because she wanted so badly to win HOH, and I expected her to do something with it, and she didn't. She wanted to play it safe and go after Daniel, who, the fact that Daniel was like this public enemy number 1 was hilarious, right?
So unfortunate.
And
it's just because of Daniel's quirkiness, and then he won some competitions, but he never had a place, and no one thought for a second, oh, let's
bring him in.
Let's bring him in.
No. Let's get rid of people who don't have a home instead of going after the people who are aligned.
Unbelievable.
That's the story of the season. It's unreal.
Yeah. To people who play this game in the future, when you win power, I'm asking, not just as a host, but as your friend, just consider everything. Think about how you can use your head of household as an opportunity, because there's always an opportunity.
Yeah.
So
But,
that's what
we've got. Final 3. We have Jennifer versus Sam in a 6-question 50 A or B scenario.
I know.
Jennifer, this is Sam's worst nightmare. Give him any other challenge, he's going to dominate. but this is not one of them. It's
Nope.
50-50 6 times. I mean, who knows?
Yep. And so I'm going to be nervous. And I'm not playing.
At this point, I'm actively rooting for a Jennifer Artesia final.
Of course.
Let's just burn it all down. Just burn this season to the ground.
Right, because if Sam wins, then the winner has a level of respectability that this season doesn't deserve.
No, this season deserve no. This I told you this. I'll tell the viewing party. I considered this season in the movie franchise Halloween. Halloween 3 is not considered canon. Like, it is not part of the franchise because Michael Myers isn't there. I don't want this season actually associated with Big Brother Hometowns. Like, we need to just say that this was an anomaly. We're going to skip over that. Some bad things happened. And here we are.
Yep.
Tom
And
is absolutely right.
he's 100% right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say. Obviously, hope everyone watches tonight. We're gonna see if it's a Jennifer Artesia final 2. There's actually gonna be a little bit of drama,
Right.
I mean, because I don't know who wins.
Right.
Artesia probably wins, but I don't know that because if Jennifer's able to say anything. For her side, then maybe. I mean, winning Final HOH is a big deal. So
I think that there is going to be. I think there's some drama to be had in a sense with Sam and the final 2, but not in the sense of like, will he win? Like, he'll win, but the drama will be that the jury will like make him feel the heat, and that'll be fun to watch.
Oh, they will.
And I'd rather see. I honestly, I'd rather see that. I'm still actively rooting for that. But the Artesia Jennifer final 2 is burn the house down material. So.
Yeah. So. But I don't know. Anything else you got?
I think that's pretty much it. We look forward to you guys joining us tonight. Like I said, it's very cool. We get to stream in the viewing party and get to stream on my Facebook page. So you can't miss it. You can't. And it'll be a lot of fun. Join us, comment, sign up for season 8. We want it to be better.
And play. If you're gonna sign up, play the game. Please, for the love of God.
Yes. Yes, please, and please sign up because I'm telling you right now that some of the people that I have right now waiting in the wings that have applied, that are thinking to apply, has so much potential that I can't stand it. And so let's make season 8 the best season ever and bury season 7. And hey, I want to say this because I said it. The reason that I usually let most people play is because I believe that anyone can do well. And the proof of that is in Lauren. Lauren is the proof that anyone can do well at this game. She put her head in this, she got in this, and she played the crap out of it.
She did.
I wish that she was here right now in the final 3.
Yeah. Deserves to be.
Truly deserves
really does deserve to be. But like I said, there are a lot of people who deserve to be that aren't. But
yep. Every member of the jury. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be it for us for now, and we will see you guys tonight for the finale. Huzzah!